How do I balance being less available without looking like I'm playing games or being cold? Mastering the art of strategic unavailability. To answer your question, we must look at the fine line between strategic distance, which creates mystery, and emotional coldness, which creates disconnection. The difference lies entirely in your timing and your ability to return with warmth. When you pull back without a reason, it feels like a game. When you pull back because you are genuinely focused on your own life, or because the emotional rhythm requires a reset, it feels like high-value mystery. Understanding the difference. Games versus mystery. Games occur when your lack of availability feels forced or unpredictable without cause. If you act cold right after she shows high interest, she won't feel curious, she will feel pushed away. Mystery, or strategic pullback, occurs when you create a temporary gap to allow her to process her own emotions. This isn't about being cold, it is about rebalancing the emotional rhythm. Step-by-step guide to graceful distance. To be less available without looking like you are playing games, follow this psychological protocol. First, identify a peak moment of engagement. Wait until she's actively laughing, asking questions, or showing high investment, such as at the end of a strong interaction. Second, apply a soft pullback. Instead of waiting for the conversation to die out naturally, end it while the energy is still high. Delay your replies slightly, not by hours or days, but just enough to create a sense that you have other things going on. Third, focus on your own internal set. The reason people look cold or like they're playing games is that their lack of availability feels fake. To avoid this, you must actually be busy. Focus on your hobbies, your work, and your personal growth. If you are actually busy, your unavailability is a truth, not a tactic. Fourth, return with high warmth. This is the most important step. When she reaches out or when you decide to re-engage, do not be brief or short, which looks cold. Instead, be warm, present, and engaged. If you pull back and then return with high-quality attention, you create a cycle of curiosity and reconnection. The biggest mistake. The biggest mistake is pulling back when she is already withdrawing. If she is in a hard red light phase, showing signs of coldness, asking for space, or being unable to initiate contact, and you pull back even further without care, you aren't being mysterious, you are effectively disconnecting. If she asks for space, give it. But if you pull back when she is already pulling away, you risk the relationship sliding into a blackout phase because you stop providing the necessary warmth to bridge the gap. Personal advice and golden rules. Personal advice: stop trying to manage her reaction and start managing your own emotional stability. A person who is truly high value doesn't worry about whether they are being too available. They simply live a life that is so fulfilling that they don't need to be available every second. This way, your lack of availability is an unintentional side effect of your busy, interesting life, which is the ultimate form of seduction. A simple rule to remember: pull back to create space, but return to build connection. The key truth: predictability kills attraction. If you're always there, you become a constant, and constants eventually become background noise. The golden rule, or formula: to master this, use the warmth. Warmth formula: high warmth, followed by a strategic gap, followed by high warmth, equals irresistible mystery.